Manchester City go top of the Premier League thanks to a 1-0 victory against Southampton, and the player ratings is coming up shortly, but there was no way I was passing up this opportunity to mock Manchester United, because you will not believe what that shower, the audacity of that football club, Manchester United, once again humiliating themselves in the glaring eye of the public once again. It's an absolute shower. They really are an embarrassment to themselves. Here's a headline, one of the many, many headlines you can go and read for yourself. Cost-cutting Man United ask rivals Man City to give their players a lift to the Ballon d'Or ceremony on their private jet, only to be rejected. Premier League champions Man City have 8 nominees for the top honour. United have been in the throes of a cost-cutting exercise under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Manchester United asked rivals if Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo could catch a lift with their party of 8 nominees to the Ballon d'Or, only to be told the flight was full. Mail Sport understands that the Premier League champions have chartered a private jet to ferry their sizable delegation to Paris for the Monday night awards ceremony, and in a move which may raise a few eyebrows, mine aren't shy of rising themselves, to be honest, and they certainly raised after hearing this. It can be revealed that United asked their neighbours if they had any room for their 2 hopefuls. No, is the answer. No. Now, I need to tell you a little story. First of all. So, we need to rewind the clock a little bit and go back to how even United came to be, because you only need to go back. I say only, it was quite some time ago now, but you go back to the World War, where a lot of damage, financial damage, structural damage to Old Trafford. You still hear City fans jokingly suggest that Uwe Rosler's granddad bombed Old Trafford. A bit of a fairy tale there, but still, it's funny to think about, to the extent that no one lost their lives, at least you'd hope. But Uwe Rosler's granddad getting involved. The damage that was done to Old Trafford was so bad that they turned to their neighbours, those noisy neighbours, those ones who aren't deserving of success because we've received so much money in the last decade or two. You know, the likes of Manchester City, those noisy neighbours, you know. What did we do? We said, come and play at Main Road. You can come and play football in our ground. And not only that, that's where you got your name, the Rags, from, because we let you have our shirts as well. You can wear our shirts as well if you'd like, our second-hand shirts. They're a little bit dirty. You might have to wash them. Hope you don't mind. But unfortunately, you're going to have to borrow some second-hand kits and play in our ground at a loss. City took a loss, a financial loss at that. We helped them get back on their feet. We have done that numerous times over the years, Manchester City. You only need to go back to the morons who only believe that 1992 was when football started, apparently. When you go back beyond that, you start to dig deeper into the history of this club and this new image of Manchester City that's the cheat, the horrible, disgusting oil club that wins all the time and bores everyone to death. Incredibly charitable, and helped Manchester United to maintain their existence. Without us, there would be no you, in other words. So that thankful charity that Manchester City donated to Manchester United is the reason they exist in the first place. And now, you only need to fast forward to 2024 to find out that they're asking for more handouts, even though they've got the multi-billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe who's promising Manchester United fans an influx of money and is going to splash the cash on all these superstar players to challenge the likes of Manchester City for Premier League honours once again. Doesn't look likely, does it? Because you've crawled to Manchester City with the tail between your legs, asking for a lift. All right, mate, you got any pecky money? I need to get to the Ballon d'Or in Paris, mate. I'll pay you some pecky money. No worries. Can we catch a lift? First of all, Garnacho and Mainoo, I wouldn't bother turning up, lads. I wouldn't bother. You're not going to get anywhere near that Ballon d'Or honour. Nice of you to turn up, though. You can pop your little tuxedo on and accept nothing at the end of the day, because there's only 2 players up for it, and that's Vinny Jr. and Rodri, of course, and that's a Manchester City player, with our other 7 nominees who will be there to congratulate him, hopefully. But the official Manchester City response was pretty good, to be honest. Here's Erling Haaland on a private jet, as you can see here. And if you take a little bit of a closer look, I think you can see the official response just about. There you go, written on the football, just there. Fuck off. There we go. That's the official response from Manchester City. And here, actually, it's coming in. Here we go. Oh, we got an exclusive. That's what you get here on Typical City. You get an exclusive of Garnacho trying to get to the Ballon d'Or ceremony in the Manchester United company car. He's late, as you can see, panicking. He's getting a bit panicky. There he is, Garnacho, off he goes. Got to get them teeth brushed, mate. There you go, get that. There you go. That's not disgusting whatsoever. There you go, mate. using the Manchester United company car. Let's hope he makes it. Let's hope he makes it to Paris on time, because he isn't getting in a private jet with the likes of the Manchester City players. You absolute shower. Honestly, quite literally, there's a shower coming out the car there. A bit of screen wash to rinse your mouth out there, mate. But unbelievable from Manchester United. The nerve of this lot. Honestly, can we have a lift? Can we have a lift? You piss off, mate. What a jokers. Absolute bunch of jokers. I can't believe it. It's so good being a City fan nowadays. The entertainment just doesn't stop. And they provide it for us. We expect entertainment on the pitch. We get entertained on the pitch. We get entertained with an influx of Premier League trophies, Champions League trebles, domestic quadruples, 100 points. There's no stopping the entertainment from our side, but they give us even more. We are spoiled as Manchester City fans. They give us their own entertainment at their expense. They humiliate themselves just to give us a little chuckle. Don't you love them? Don't you just love those Manchester United shower over there? Right, player ratings. Let's move on, shall we? Oh, I am happy bunny today. I can't lie. Top of the Premier League, of course I am. Match stats: Manchester City versus Southampton. Yeah, I said it yesterday. I thought they were pretty dominant in the game. For a Manchester City game, I thought Southampton had a big foot in the game. Do you know what I mean? They did control the ball. It's not dominant because we had more of the ball, but there aren't many times that City get less than 60% possession. And this was against second bottom of the league. I said it during the watch-along. Thanks to everyone who joined me for that. I said it in my match reaction as well. Southampton came to play. And they did play very well. They didn't play well in terms of once they got into the final third, and they struggled to even get into the final third. But they held the ball well at the back. They played out from the back, and their intentions were, let's call it, noble. But City still come away with nearly a 3 XG. 22 shots, 8 on target, 4 big chances. We were wasteful yesterday. Erling Haaland in particular was wasteful, but we deserved to win, and it should have been more comfortable than a 1-0 win, but we deserved to win. Moving on to Ederson now, 7.5. He's getting a 0.5 just for the fact that he kept a clean sheet. He didn't really have to do much, to be honest. The bar actually saved him, to be honest, at one point. He did make 2 saves, in fairness to him, which is it goes down as a massive plus in the help of getting him that clean sheet. But there wasn't much, 0.05 goals prevented, so there wasn't really much to do for Ederson. But I can't ignore the fact that he got himself a clean sheet. So 7.5 for Ederson. Manuel Akanji, solid at the back. Again, kind of quiet performance for him. Not as quiet as some, which I'll get onto shortly, but Manuel Akanji was pretty solid at the back. Couple of clearances, block shot, interception. Didn't win the one and only ground Julie went into. And that's a theme, by the way. You look at the number of tackles, 0 tackles. You look at the number of centre-backs and our defenders that are actually completing tackles. You look at the players in front of them. They are getting more statistical tackles to their name than our defenders are. And why is that? It's because we're starting to understand the counter-press. Kovacic in particular, who I'm going to get onto shortly, is learning how to prevent counter-attacks. And that's the counter-press. So important to do that and keep the ball at that end of the pitch. Even when we lose it, hound them and don't let them come out. Don't let them break away on us. And the best way to do that is win the ball back immediately. And who's going to do that? The midfielders, the forwards, they're going to win the ball back. And by doing that, they have to tackle. And that's why their numbers are higher than most of our defenders. 0 tackles for Manuel Akanji, but he still gets a 7. Josko, on the other hand, very good defensive numbers. Still only the 1 tackle, 6 clearances to his name, though. 3 key passes, 2 interceptions. The guy's a beast. He's an absolute beast, and he's still got so much growing to do. I cannot wait to see the peak Josko Gvardiol, because the guy's just a phenom of a fullback. He's such a... Both ends of the pitch are unplayable at times. He was so calm and composed. There were a couple of shots. He was a bit wayward with his shooting yesterday, but we can forgive him. We can forgive him, considering what we saw against Wolves. Banging one in the top corner, and we've seen him do it at the bloody Bernabeu, mate. So we know exactly what this guy's capable of. Solid as a rock at the back. One bit of defending I remember really well, where he brought the ball down. It was a very dangerous ball going through a channel, and he just brought it down, turned, and sent us going the other way. Fantastic from Josko Gvardiol, 8 out of 10. Ruben Diaz, I thought he was solid as a rock, getting his solitary shot per game, which he seems to get every game now. Kept it on target, forced Aaron Ramsdale into a save. He's going to hit the target. He keeps hitting the target like this. I think one of them's going to find the back of the net. We saw it against Arsenal. He was our playmaker in that second half against 10-man Arsenal. I remember how much did he have the ball in that game. He's going to have a big say in this season, I feel like, possibly in the attacking side of the game, because it's so difficult to break down these disgusting low blocks that we keep going up against. And he's the freest player out of the outfield 10. He always is. And he's going to get moments like that, you know. But defensively, sound as a pound. Really, really good from Ruben Diaz. I was impressed with his numbers yesterday. He was rock solid for me. 7.5. Clean sheet as well. Helps his score. Rico, I've given him a 6. And it's not a bad score and it's not a good score. Because it was just total... He was just silent. I didn't see him in the game. I saw him. I saw him make runs. He never got on the end of anything, unfortunately, and I wouldn't say that's his fault. A lot of the play went down the left-hand side. A lot of our successful play, in the first half in particular, went down the left-hand side. He didn't venture forward too much in the second half, and as a result, he didn't get involved in the play. His numbers reflect that. Virtually nothing to speak about for Rico Lewis, negatively or positively. So I've given him a 6. Kovacic, on the other hand, plenty of positive things to talk about, and there you go. This guy's getting it. This is the one area of his game that was growing concerning for me, was his ability to prevent the counter-attack, because Rodri's an absolute phenom at it. He knows exactly where to position himself. He wins so many tackles, Rodri does, and in their half, you know what I mean? Winning the ball back early, so there is no counter-attack. He was doing that yesterday. We were still susceptible. There was still a moment where they went away and hit the bar. You can't solely blame Kovacic for that, but there were plenty of other moments in the game where it broke to the edge of the area. You're thinking, right, it's loose. Grab it. Get hold of it. Don't lose the ball. 6 tackles for Mateo Kovacic yesterday is the reason why our defenders don't have to tackle, because he's in front of them doing the dirty work. And I love that from Mateo Kovacic. I really do. And it's a level of his game that was growing concerning for me. I think technically he's fantastic. He's started to crop up with goals. If he can refine this side of his game to prevent counter-attacks, it's becoming like we've got the answer to the Rodri cover, because he's doing an absolutely sensational job of it so far for me. And what a signing he's been. What was he, 25 million? Just under 25 million? A bargain, mate. An absolute bargain. Fantastic numbers. 12 ground duels as well. He won more than half of them. 8 out of 10 for Mateo Kovacic. Really good. Right, Nunes, man of the match, 8.5. Got himself an assist. I've given him man of the match. I mean, as if he's listening. Mateus Nunes, if you're listening, fucking brilliant, mate. Thanks for tuning in to Typical City. I doubt very much you're listening, but if you are, you deserve man of the match, mate, because I felt like the contribution he gave in Sparta Prague, it just continued. We saw the glimpse of quality against Watford in the League Cup. Then he stepped his game up to Champions League standard, starting the game. It is Sparta Prague. Then it's Southampton, which is a much more respectable opponent than Sparta Prague because they are Premier League quality. They showed yesterday against us that they are a quality side that can retain the ball. Starting a Premier League game, he lived up to the expectations that are continuing this form for Mateus Nunes. Bagged himself an assist, worked incredibly hard, showed vision, showed composure. A couple of moments in the second half that was sloppy, if that, you know, and I'm being very critical. Got a big chance created outside of the assist that he bagged as well yesterday. So man of the match for Mateus Nunes. Keep it going, mate, because what a fantastic option he is proving to be for Manchester City. 8.5, man of the match. Foden. I think we're starting to see the growth of Phil Foden's form. He's getting back to his best. I wouldn't quite say he's there yet, but he's on his way. A nice shot in the first half, within a couple of minutes of the second half, actually, just getting underway. Lovely shot, just past the post. Could have been 2-0 very early in that second half. He was lively, and his numbers are brilliant. They are very good numbers. 5 key passes. Shows his creative nous is starting to increase for Manchester City. He was pulling strings yesterday. He was finding pockets. He was composed. The ball retention of 96% is fantastic. Really good. Crosses as well. I know you're thinking 11 crosses, but only 3 on target. Gundogan was taking our corners prior to that, and more often than not, it was 10 with 0 and 11 with 0. He's finding players, you know, he's finding players. Haaland could have easily got one of them on target. One of the crosses that was found, Erling Haaland at the back post from a corner, was saved off the line from Erling Haaland. So he could have bagged himself an assist yesterday, again from a corner. He obviously took the corner against Wolves for John Stones to make it 2-1. So this is our corner taker now. I think we've found him. I don't think Gundogan should be taking the corners anymore. Phil Foden, hopefully, keep it going, mate. We need to start seeing him getting 8s and 9s out of 10 and really finding the back of the net, getting those goals and assists that he did last season that won him Player of the Year, and rightly so. 7.5 against Southampton. Bernardo Silva, I thought he was decent, good against Phil Foden, pretty good, not quite against the same levels as Foden, still finding pockets, 2 tackles to his name, there you go, again, another player winning the ball back, high up the pitch, really, really good. 2 key passes, not quite as same as Phil Foden, again, not quite getting 5, but, you know, still good from Bernardo Silva. I thought he was solid, and I much prefer seeing him in the middle of the park. I feel like he's wasted on the sides of the pitch, I really do. I think this is where he should be playing, certainly in the absence of Kevin De Bruyne. But I think Bernardo's starting to look like he might need a rest at some point because he's played a lot of football lately. Starting so many games, pretty much all of the games we've started lately, he's been in the middle of the park. But he's loved by Pep Guardiola, and rightly so. 7 out of 10 for Bernardo against Southampton. Savinho got a little bit of stick yesterday. I thought his performance was reasonably good, but I saw a lot of City fans came to me in the chat saying he was bad and not very good. His numbers speak volumes to the opposite of the word bad. Pretty good, to be honest. 85% passing accuracy it's okay, a bit for our standards, reasonably loose, but 5 key passes, 7 crosses, 4 were accurate, 7 dribble attempts, 6 completed, 2 big chances created, 13 ground duels, and he won just over half of them again. It's fantastic. It really is to see these numbers. The issue is his shooting's still wayward. I feel like he's a bit wasteful with his shots. Small little details in decision making. There was a moment where he was going through on goal. He had, I think it was Foden just to the left of him, and Haaland even further to the left of him. He just dilly-dallied, didn't make a decision, eventually had the ball taken off him. Those little moments from Savinho are just a case of just experience, getting to understand what to do at that moment. He will come, it will come, and this guy will start scoring goals. This is the sort of player that's going to be bagging us 15 to 20 goals and assists combined, goal involvements over the course of a season. I think this guy should be hitting 20 goal involvements, goals and assists combined. I think that it might not be this season. We could be looking at 10 to 12 potentially from Savinho. Next season, I think we're going to see the best of this player because there's a serious player there. And write him off at your peril. 8 out of 10 for Savinho. Right, finally, Erling Haaland. I've given him a 7. He won us the game. It's a very confusing player to analyse right now because big chances missed, 3. That's got to harm your score. We can't ignore the fact that you have missed so many clear-cut chances in the team yesterday. It should have been 4 or 5-0, and he probably should have had all of them yesterday. 8 shots in total, 4 on target. Winning his aerial duels, which is decent. 100% passing accuracy. Do you want to know how many that was? 5 out of 5 for Erling Haaland. So 100% is 100%, mate. Whether it's 1 out of 1 or 100 out of 100, it's still 100%. Either way, though, the chances that he missed, yeah, concerning that he wasn't finding the back of the net, but still, half of them were on target. He forced Aaron Ramsdale into a save. That one at the end, that little dink where Foden sent him through, you expect him to bury that. A couple of headers that were really wayward. I thought, again, heading is not his strong point. But you also can't ignore the fact that he did score the goal that won us the game. And without that, we wouldn't have won the game. So you can't ignore the positives and focus on the negatives and vice versa. So I feel like a 7 out of 10 for Erling Haaland is fair because he had a big say in the fact that we didn't win the game more comfortably. But he also had an equal-sized say in the fact that we did win the game. So it's a very peculiar player to analyse after that performance yesterday, but I feel like there's a hat-trick coming. There's a hat-trick on the horizon for Big Earl. Definitely going to happen. I've not given the Gundogan rating because he came on for 4 minutes, and I've not given John Stones a rating either because he came on in stoppage time. So I'm not going to be rating players for the sake of a few seconds. Do you know what I mean? Feels pointless. But Manchester United, what a shower of shit they are. Hilarious to even have the audacity to ask for a lift, a bloody lift to the Ballon d'Or, mate. No. Fuck off. Absolute no chance. Blues, what do you think of that? What do you think of the player ratings? What do you think of the performance yesterday? The fact that we're top of the league, probably temporarily until Liverpool face Arsenal. I'm going to go and chill out and watch them sweat it out, trying to beat each other while we've already got our 3 points on the board. Manchester City fans have every reason to be happy. Get your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts. Like and subscribe to Typical City, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up silverware.